I always hope that I make a difference in people's lives, positive impact. So many times we've all taken the wrong turn, wrong people, wrong place. We all make mistakes, and it's not a life sentence, for God's sake. It's just a bump in the road. You get back up and you move on. And that's what I hope I can influence people to do in this position. Working at the school, working with our youth was always important. They impact my life more than they will ever know. And I always try to make their lives better than what they have had. Our young people need to learn to live in both worlds, outside as well as within the reservation. And if I make a difference in one person's life, no matter if it's a young adult or somebody in school or any adult, anybody, then my job's been worthwhile. If it wasn't for Jeannie Berries, I wouldn't be in this department. I wouldn't have the opportunity to make a positive impact on people's lives. So I gotta thank Jeannie, because if it wasn't for her, she made the big difference.
When I started in this position in '02, there was only one prosecutor, there was one judge, one bailiff, and one court clerk. I was working there when the tribe took over Cascadia and got it back. I got to see all that, and I got to see us grow and grow, and to come from nothing to everything that we've got today is so unreal to me. 30 or 40 years ago, we didn't have hardly anything. And today now, oh, we've got so much. And our council people are doing such a wonderful job.
So why do I enjoy what I do? I enjoy the successes, the success stories that come from being a social worker here at the tribe. In my first job, I was able to, as a case manager, help people attain housing and help them move their life forward and make a better life for their kids. The ability to give somebody hope that things can change. And as a community DV advocate, when I can offer somebody hope that they can have a better way and they can have a better life for their family. And in most of my positions in social work here in the tribe, in 30 plus years, it's the ability to give somebody hope that things will be better, that they can have a better way. And the fact that I can be an assistant in that process is just huge. It's creator's work.
I get calls from people and say, this may sound crazy. I said, well, I talk to crazy people all the time. But it's the spiritual work can sound crazy sometimes. It's hard to know what's the difference between mental health issues and spiritual issues. But we are spiritual people. We have spiritual connections to each other, spiritual connections to the world around us. And as long as we pay attention to that, we can know and be aware of what those connections are. Sometimes it feels like my gut tells me this. Others are clear in their intuition. And I just described how some of our spiritual people earn their gifts. It's a lifelong process for most of them. And many times something that they're born into, passed down from their father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, and their ancestors. And our traditional medicine program to help our community has grown by leaps and bounds. I grow based on need. If more people ask for help, then I try to help the best I can with additional help. That's always been real important work for me.
During the past 30 years, being involved with legislative work for the tribe and having the opportunity to go back to Washington, D.C. with the tribal leaders, one trip really stands out in my mind is when the Violence Against Women Act was being debated back in the U.S. Senate. And during the debates, Senator Murray, the senior senator from Washington, came off the floor to meet with the tribal delegation to let them know that they were making the final push to get the Violence Against Women Act legislation passed. And that was a moment to be there in the Capitol building with our senior senator and hearing from her what she was pushing for on the Senate floor and thanking the tribal leaders for all the hard work that they put into that legislation.
When I got hired, it was April 1st, 1982, and my sister wanted me to come up and get this job. I wasn't really looking for a job because I was at home taking care of my kids and husband and my home, so I thought, okay. So I got hired on that day, and I looked at Bob Sataikum and I said, "Is this a joke?" And he goes, "Why would you think it's a joke?" I said, "Because it's April 1st. And it wasn't. So they hired me on April 1st, 1982. Where I grew up in a fishing ranch struggle, my parents were leaders. Don and Janet McLeod, my dad's a tribal member from here. And so when you grow up in a family that's active like that, you learn a lot of things about treaties, you learn a lot of things about state, tribal, federal governments. And so I just kept learning.
I've had the real joy, and I'd almost call it a luxury, to have been part of the process, to have been working for the tribe from the time when, back in the 70s, it had very few resources, a lot of important battles to fight, but very few resources to do that with. To watch them, not only watch them, but for me to get to be a part of seeing the progression and making the progression happen through the years to the point where the tribe gathered the resources to fight those battles, and nowadays has become one of the major forces in the community, in a whole variety of ways. It's been truly an honor as well as a joy to be a part of that and to try to help make that happen.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the Puyallup tribe as a whole, but also the individual tribal members to help them exercise their treaty rights to harvest these very important shellfish. I've learned a lot over the years about the cultural importance of exercising these treaty rights, and the youth is so important to be able to help the youth get out there and dig some clams and to learn about their treaty rights. That's so important because they'll be the next generations coming through to protect these treaty rights. The tribe has a big power to protect water quality in ways that other governments can't. And so it's just been wonderful to be able to be a part of protecting water quality, keeping the water in our little area of Puget Sound here nice and clean, and to protect public health for people who want to eat shellfish.
I want to thank all of you guys. We have like 64 departments here in the admin alone, and each of you are very important. Everything that you all do for us, it means a lot. It's not just helping the tribe, it is helping our tribal members. So every part that each of you play and doing your work and your jobs here is very important. And I want to tell you how much I thank and appreciate each and every one of you. You mean a lot to us, tribal members and the tribe and tribal council. So I want you to enjoy your day. I want you guys to eat plenty and don't spend your check all in one place, but be happy and enjoy, and thank you again for working for us. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much.
I think the strength and the wisdom of the individuals that most have passed on, our ancestors, our leaders, the leaders that we've had here, they're strong-willed individuals, and it's always been something that I've admired about the tribe, admired about each individual one of those. Each one of these leaders of tribal council has had something unique to bring to the table, and it's always inspired me to just push harder and harder for everything and remember where we came from and remember where we're going with it. It's just really important to always protect, respect, and preserve. And it's important to me to remember. That's what I was taught, you know. These lands won't be here if we don't take care of them. Same thing with these waters and everything else. So all the things that I've learned from many, many individuals, many of our leaders, they've all treated us very well, taken very well care of us. I can't be more proud of this tribe. And I just couldn't appreciate anybody or anything more than I do than this tribe, because this tribe does so much for its people. I just can't imagine what people would do if they didn't have the tribe.
There's been many projects that I've had the opportunity to work with, working with some great people, and a lot of them required imagination, foresight, and a little bit of the dream to make these things happen. And as we look around us, you know, we've got some great economic development. We have some homes. We have a great fisheries program. Our clinic's one of the best around for health. You know, our cancer clinic's moving along. Economic development, you know, is very many different facets going to that. It's all good. There was a lot of work done by, you know, the ancestors and keeping this tribe alive. There's been some absolutely incredible staff that have worked here over the years, and many of them are gone. But what I do see is a whole nother generation coming up, picking up the ball and carrying it to the goal line. There's just a continuity that just blows me away, how people are stepping in to do the job.